Welcome to the Beanpod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow.
The Beanpod is presented by DAOmaker, the top crypto launchpad in the industry.
DAOmaker allows people to participate in top crypto projects before they launch and generate some of the best returns you can find anywhere.
They also provide growth solutions for crypto projects that are looking for funding and assistance with marketing.
With their revolutionary new public strongholder offerings, everyone can get early access to top crypto projects regardless of their net worth.
DAOmaker is rapidly disrupting the venture capital industry. If you're interested, head over to DAOmaker.com to learn more.
Welcome to the Beanpod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today we have a very special guest, Chris, the co-founder and CEO of Quoth.
This is one of the most innovative and most interesting NFT projects I think we've come across all year.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
This is lovely. Hey, Chris, tell us a bit about Quoth. What exactly is it?
So we're redefining kind of an NFT ownership, and we're building an infrastructure that's not currently available. So we're kind of like the Google of NFTs, and we've got a pricing oracle with an API and SDK kits that can basically enable any wallet or marketplace or protocol to accurately search and kind of list any NFT and authenticate it as well. So we're with our MVP, we're pretty much a real-time rarity tools type of platform.
Awesome. That's really cool. I think that's something that the NFT industry badly needs right now, given all the fraud and scams that there are out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit of a background about yourself and a bit of background about the team and kind of how you got to get to the point where you are now?
Yeah, sure. I've been in the blockchain space for since the beginning, in Bitcoin's inception. So I've seen it all. I've had a bid on Bitcoin at 80 cents, got Mount Goxed, lost it all. I'm one of those stories that back in the day, there really weren't wallets. You had to write your private key down. You had to trade it, which sounds crazy. And I wrote my private key down on a Post-it note. Put that little Post-it note on my printer, and back then everybody thought Bitcoin was a joke, and it was you had sites like the Bitcoin faucet that you could click it, and it would just spit 5 Bitcoin out at a time, and they would just give it to you. So Bitcoin was sort of a joke back then, so nobody really took it seriously until about a year in, and by then I had thrown that printer out and off those private keys go. I probably about worth 500 million in Bitcoin today, but that's okay. We're here. We're launching other things. We're making money. So through that, I'm originally from Canada. I left Canada in 2017 and settled in a Caribbean nation called Anguilla, just right near St. Martin, and since then, kind of helped the government onboard the Auto Act, which was the first enabler of legalized ICOs. So I helped, categorize that legislation and make that legal. I've run mining farms and a whole bunch of stuff. So I've seen it all. And with NFTs kind of coming in, I saw this back in 2017, kind of label it as a digital asset. And the back end of Quoth was actually starting to be built on Ethereum in beginning of 2018. And when everything crashed, Ethereum gas prices, now listen how crazy this is. Ethereum gas prices went from like 20 cents to $2 overnight. And we all were like, this is it. Ethereum's dead. There's no way we can run our business on this. How am I supposed to run, Quoth authentications with $2 Ethereum? Nobody's going to do it. And we shelved the project and said, we got to wait this one out. After that, I got hired to do a digital app on the blockchain. And not until Binance Chain came around did I call up my buddies and we're like, hey, I think we found the chain now that can pull this off quickly and cheaply and take this to scale. So we started building this out a year ago. I started assembling the team. We have 7 AI devs, 8 full stack Solidity devs, CTO, CMO, full management staff. Been building it over the last year. We were incubated by LedgerLink Labs out of Belgium, and our team is across the globe. We got designers in Canada. We've got our dev team. Here's a funny story. Our dev team is in Minsk, Belarus right now.
Oh, wow.
Half of them had to be evacuated, and half of the other guys fled. So some of them have gone to Poland, opened up a little office there in the last 3 days, and are continuing to code Quoth to hit our goals. So it's a dynamic, quick, we're quick to act, quick team, smart team. And here we are after our IDO, and we're ready to change NFT ownership forever.
That's a very dedicated team as well. Yeah. So, it sounds like you've been in the space for a very long time. You know exactly what you're talking about, super passionate. Let's say I'm relatively new to the NFT space. What would you say Quoth's primary functions are?
So the big problem with the NFT space right now is, it's very fragmented. There's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of, there's a lot of sites all around, and there's not one protocol. There's not one search that you can go to, feel comfortable with. So what we're doing is we're indexing every NFT in existence. It's going to take us another 4 months, but we've already indexed pretty much OpenSea, and we're going to be indexing all EVM compatible probably within the next month. And what that means for somebody that doesn't even know what Bitcoin is, and they just, they're on Facebook tonight and said, man, NFTs is the craze. I want to make money. How do I get into it? We've created the most simple way to get into the NFT space. You log into Quoth.ai, not right now, when we put the MVP public in 10 to 12 days. You log in and there's a search bar, and you can just search whatever you want. So if you want to search, I heard about these sup ducks and the cool ones with a hat. You can type in sup ducks with hat, and all the sup ducks that are ranked in the rarity will come up, boom, 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 right away. So we've created a semantic tool similar to what you would do in Google. Just type in whatever you want to see, and our index will start to index that. Now, obviously, we're new, and the indexing we have is machine learning and artificial intelligence. So we've created a beta program for our NFT collection partners, such as Subducks, Fluff World, and a few others, that their communities are actually going to help us create advanced search on those collections. So what that means is, you pull up, say their community members will pull up, a very specific and advanced search term. Whatever comes up, they will be able to actually just click a button if it's not the right one, or if it's not matching their search terms. And our AI will start to spin and work off that human interaction. So within about a month or two, our search results should be extremely accurate for anybody entering the space, if you're advanced or a newbie or whatever. And it's a very easy tool to find rarity, to find any NFT, and then we get into the authentication of the NFTs, which maybe we'll get into that in a few minutes if you got any other questions.
Yeah, no, that's a great overview of what the search functionality of Quoth is, and I think that's when you talk about it's the Google of NFTs, the way that you put it out there makes complete sense. And I mean, as an NFT trader myself, I'm excited to use that, especially once all the different platforms and blockchains are indexed. But I think as you let off at the end there, the next most important feature of Quoth really is the authentication. And it's you want to get rid of fraud and scams in the NFT industry. So in your opinion, how is Quoth going to get rid of those things, and what exactly does the platform do to enable that?
So it's pretty simple. Well, it's complex, but I'll make it simple. We search, all metadata, and then we also have, semantic tagging, as well as, graphical AI. So what that means is if you're to upload a JPEG, we can actually determine whether that JPEG is in existence or not, because we have that index. So if let's say an artist comes along and they want to upload their new JPEG, they can just drag and drop right into the search bar, and they can authenticate that and see if it has 100% originality. If it doesn't, we will show them in detail all the other JPEGs that we have flagged to say, hey, you're pretty close to this. You might want to take a look at this before you go ahead and mint this and try to sell it. So that's one part of the authentication model. The other one would be, you're an NFT trader, so new mints. The problem with NFTs right now is new mints, and people can't get to them because they don't know about them, or they're just not done on, a Rarity Tools type of system or OpenSea. What they do is they just mint on their own website, hoping that their community is robust enough to come in and buy up that mint. So what our protocol does in real time is it flags those new mints, and within 1 hour, we will rank everything in Rarity.
Wow.
So right now, that doesn't exist, A. B, you have to wait for that collection to be put on Rarity Sniffer or Rarity Tools. If they want to go on there, they have to pay them 2 ETH or whatever the cost is. That's going to be a week or two process. So our platform is so fast and so dynamic. It's real time. We don't charge the collections anything, and we will scrape that data. We'll put all their JPEGs into our system and make sure that nobody else can not mint those JPEGs, but nobody else can pawn those off, because we will have the Quoth pink check mark. And as an NFT trader, it's a huge advantage because you can get our algorithmic rarity on that, as well as, hey, the market's missed this. The market's missed this one. I'm going to pick this one up for cheap, and I can flip it or keep it or whatever. And right now, these tools just don't exist.
Yeah, there's so many things in the NFT world that right now that are so intimidating, especially to someone that's new to the space. Just as you talked about, whether it's rarities or different traits or collections going up and down in price, and the day of mint, it all just seems so crazy. So to have a platform like Quoth come in and basically simplify that and make it easily accessible, I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
Chris, I'm curious, what's the utility of the Quoth token?
Oh, we got lots of utility. So the first one would be our AI human interaction. So these collections, when they help our machine learning, they will actually, it's kind of like a gamified or a, I'll take this into BitMEX world because I'm a big MEX guy. When you log into BitMEX, you get these redundant CAPTCHAs with either motorbikes or bridges. We are kind of doing something similar, but very different to help the machine learning do that. And basically, when a human user helps do that, they will be rewarded in Quoth token. So it builds that community, it builds the in-depth advanced search mechanisms, and everybody's a win-win. We also have a really cool, more of a buy pressure. A lot of these utility tokens have got sell pressure. We're looking for buy pressure. We've been in the space long enough to know that, a utility token, you need people to both buy and sell it. If there's too much selling, like the GameFi projects that have, right now that have just gotten wrecked, all of them wrecked, it doesn't work. After 2 weeks, it's like people figure it out that, okay, this is dead, moving on to the next game. So we've created a really cool advertising mechanism for NFT collections or artists that only have one JPEG. You can actually, like Google AdWords, stake Quoth token in our LP, and you will be able to vote, or you'll be able to look at your keywords that you want, and your advertisement to sell your NFT will come up first on those keywords. We also have a banner ad for impressions. So the more you stake and lock, the more impressions your NFT collection will get. The more impressions should lead to more sales and advertising and awareness. So that will create people to have to buy the token and then stake it for periods of time and not sell it. That's another one. We also have bridge staking. We're creating, fractionalized and multi-chain minting. So as a new NFT collection, you can multi-chain mint on our platform, and you don't have to worry about these Ethereum fees because you can split it up across all NFT platforms.
Right. So you could take, if you're having an NFT drop that's going to be on Ethereum only, with Quoth, you could potentially drop to Ethereum, Solana, BSC, Avalanche, whatever other blockchains, all at the same time on the same day.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, that's game changing, I think.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty awesome. Well, the Quoth token itself obviously has a ton of utility. I like the whole setup for long-term holding. That's definitely a good idea. And I agree with you 100%. You've seen so many projects come out lately where the token just gets absolutely dumped after it launches because they haven't implemented those protocols, which it sounds like you have, which is great to see. So from a business perspective, how would you say the main ways that Quoth generates revenue would be?
Yeah, so some of our advertising model will also be paid ads as far as AdWord keywords are concerned. Some people may just not even know or want to stake or know how. So we make it simplified by saying, that's fine. You can spend $1,000 and you get X amount of impressions. So same type of Google type, AdWords advertising. The research and authentication fees, there will be a fee for that. So if you want to go ahead and run your work through our authenticator, it's going to cost a nominal fee, $1. It's a very nominal fee to make sure that you're not plagiarizing or creating a copyright infringement. There's copyright infringement police checks, kind of bells, whistles down the road, where if you're an NFT collection, because we scan every blockchain simultaneously all the time, 24/7, we can actually see if you sign up for a policing mechanism, you don't even have to worry about it. We will police for you. And what that means is you pay a nominal fee again. And when somebody mints, let's say a Bored Ape or a Sup Duck, we will notify Sup Duck, say, hey, this guy or girl, this wallet just minted this, and we can actually notify OpenSea, LooksRare, or any other marketplace that integrates our API and notify them immediately saying, this is a complete fraud. This blatant fraud scam going on here. Do what you will with it. We can't take it down because it's on their marketplace, but we at least said, here's our police work. Take it down.
That's very cool.
Research it. Right.
I really like that.
We just have that capability because we have all the NFTs indexed. So once that metadata gets tagged and replicated, we see the flag right away.
Right. So that's like, this sounds like groundbreaking.
I love it.
What your platform is doing sounds amazing. I cannot wait to be utilizing this platform. I'm aware of it. Hence why we have you on the podcast here today. I know you're in the midst of indexing at the moment, but where are you currently at with adoption now, and where are you hoping to be in, let's say, like the next 6 months?
Yeah. So, we're brand new. We launched 12 hours before the Russian invasion. So our IDO kind of got muted last week. It is what it is. We can't time that stuff, but we did have we sold out on our IDO with Red Kite and Oxbow. But 12 hours later, the world was distracted and nobody cared about the crypto world for a couple of days, and it kind of hurt our launch program. But that's okay. We are building our NFT collection partners. That's all we're doing. Once we have those, it's easy to really get users to use our platform, because at the end of the day, our relevancy with the rarity type tool is going to be so advanced to what's currently out there. People will gravitate to it and start to use it and test it and do their research on our platform as opposed to other ones. So we're looking for organic growth. NFT collections are now knocking on our door because of we offer a free advertising model right now, and it's all eyeballs for no cost. So we are seeing a lot of NFT collections starting to come to us, as well as new ones that haven't minted are starting to knock, say, hey, I heard about this and that. So we're just starting to get out there. We are indexed. Like I said, again, we're almost done with OpenSea. That hack that happened 2 weeks ago with that whole email phishing thing, that didn't help. They throttled the API service, so that slowed it down. But for the most part, we got the top 20 collections indexed. And then, call it that's 70% of all traffic anyway. So the rest will start to slowly be indexed as we go. 3 months out, we should be a well-oiled machine. And as we cross the Rubicon of going to BSC and Solana and Matic and everyone that has an NFT on it, 6 months out, we will be completely, cross-chain compatible, search indexed, every NFT in existence, and the search capabilities will be bells and whistles, will be pretty much infinite at that point.
Exciting. That's a lot to look forward to for sure. One of the things I wanted to ask was, I know, crypto investors, they always look at these pre-sales and these IDOs and the list of partners that help projects like Quoth get to that moment. And when you go on your website, you've got some pretty awesome partners that you guys have collaborated with and worked with over time. Some of the big names I noticed were like KuCoin Labs and I think it was the capital firm that you mentioned that Oxbow was one of the companies that launched you. So I just wanted to ask you, what were the most important partners you work with, and what is it kind of like behind the scenes working with those guys? How do they help? What do they do? Like, any insight you can give us would be awesome.
It's an interesting process. VCs are they're here to help, and you got to be careful of who you partner with. Some like to stay long term. Others are in it, just to make their X and they move on. So what we did, because we incubated with LedgerLink Labs and we were really selective on who came on board. I mean, we could have filled this thing probably double the amount of money and twice as fast, but it's quote called dumb money, and basically they're just in it for a pump and dump. They don't care about the technology. Half of them don't even know or care about NFTs. So we really selected the partners that knew the NFT space, NFT collectors themselves, and really have a good grasp on the infrastructure that we presented. Half of the time, I'll be honest with you, we pitched and people have the VCs had no clue what we were talking about. It sounds great. We'll give you some money, but we can't really be of help. We just say, you know what, that's fine. We'll think about it. So the ones that did hop on board, they know NFTs, they know infrastructure, they knew exactly why Quoth needs to be a success, because the market is starting to demand it and there's no competition. Like, there's nobody in sight doing this. We have, especially with machine learning and artificial intelligence, it's a whole different ballgame. You can try to do what we do. If you don't have the capability of AI, it's an uphill battle, because there's multi-millions of NFTs daily that you got to sort through, and we are a data set company.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of work for a team of humans, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's an interesting insight about, just the different companies and VC money and what some of them do and what some of them don't. I feel like you always go on websites and you see these names and you just assume, oh, they're all great and they're all coming along for the same ride. But it's interesting to get the insight from Chris, who says, maybe it isn't quite like that. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, because you go on.
Sometimes the best advice I could give if you're trying to raise money is you have to challenge the VCs on why they should give their money to you. And it was kind of you spin the table and they start paying attention after that. And it basically says, if you're not going to sell us on why we should partner with you, I don't want your money. And that's kind of the way we approached it. Is there's lots of money out there. There's more money than people know what to do with. The markets seem down right now. There is so much money splashing around in VC land. They don't know where to put it.
Yeah, for sure. And when you have a project like yours that is clearly high quality, then you can really afford to turn the tables, like you said, and say, well, we know we're holding a gem here. What can you do for us? I love it.
Yeah, and anybody who's listening to this too, this is providing excellent insight into who the founder is, and how they're approaching the business. This is providing some excellent insight.
Yeah, I've been around the block a little bit, and it is what it is. You got to be very careful, because there are some VCs out there that'll say, oh yeah, I'll help you. And then when it comes time to help, say, hey, can I get that intro to that NFT marketplace? Or can I get the Huobi contact? Can you start a Telegram group? And you never get a hold of them. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
They just gave the money and they're going to sit back and reap the rewards and not help out. So luckily we have some really good partners that have been extremely active. Some have gone above and beyond, activity as a VC, giving money. They're almost, working this full time with us to really get the awareness and the, the tech contacts and NFT marketplace contacts so it's good to have those partners.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look, we know you're super young in terms of the development of this project, but it's always fun to look, to the future plans and the long-term vision of the project. I know we've discussed a lot about the JPEGs and the rarities. With NFTs, though, it's going to go more into, the music side of things and tickets and, all the other different healthcare. Like the NFT world is so much bigger than just the JPEGs. So what is the long-term vision and the expansion plans? And do you have anything in place for, the future of NFTs and where it will eventually go?
Yeah, 100%. It's, NFTs are where everything is going. And luckily for us, we had an incredible incubator, LedgerLink Labs, that also incubates other projects. So a project in particular that they were incubating was the world's largest 3D manufacturing company that does 3D printing for NASA and a whole bunch of other people, 150,000 printers worldwide. They are coming on board to change all their blueprints into NFTs. And they were like, well, how do we authenticate these? And they're like, well, there is no infrastructure for it. And, Nick at LedgerLink said, well, we're incubating this other project. This would be a good fit. So taking this into the real world, this isn't just about JPEGs anymore. We are already light years ahead of anybody even trying to do this, because we're partnering with real firms that are taking their current infrastructure of real world paper, turning it into NFTs, and we are authenticating it for them. So it's great to be a crypto company. I bleed crypto since day one. But in order to get mainstream adoption NFTs outside of the JPEG world, with real companies worth billions of dollars, you have to onboard them. You have to get them, in. And the infrastructure right now is just not in place. And hopefully we are the bridge that starts to bring over real world into, quote, blockchain, and makes it easy for them.
Beautiful. I think Josh and I are both pretty excited about Quoth, as obviously you are. I guess the only thing would be, where would listeners go to find more about Quoth? Is it your website, your Telegram, your Twitter? Like, where's the best place where people can learn about you?
Quoth.ai is the website. Community lives in Telegram. We are starting our Discord group. And because all of NFT collections pretty much live in Discord, so with Supducks and Fluff World, we're going to start to announce some things like AMAs and partnerships. So that'll happen most likely in Discord. You can find us there. We're fairly active team. We love interacting. We're here to build. This is not a pump and dump. This is a real world infrastructure project. This is not moon boy stuff. This is no safe moon. We're here taking our time, building the right blocks, and 3 months from now, we plan to completely build fences around the entire NFT space.
Love it.
Yeah, you got my mind, running when you spoke about NASA and blueprints, and I'm like, okay, I can really see where this platform can go and the utility it really brings to the real world, and it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Chris, thanks a lot for coming on the episode today. I think that's a good time to wrap it up. That was a really good episode.
Yeah, make sure you guys all tune into the next episode.
That one is going to be a banger. Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
All views expressed by speakers on the Beanpod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Beanpod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.